Hello everyone and welcome to the final installment of looking at all the new Mortal Judgment cards with Mudman. This is the 7th segment. We have looked at all of the different domains and all that is left is neutral. So let us jump right on into it with our first card, Dream Shaman. 1 mana 2/2 Mystic, heal a creature for 1. Unexciting, but not the worst card in the world. Next thing, Gleam Weaver, another 1 mana 2/2 Mystic. Roar, confuse an enemy creature. Also, not very exciting. The best part about this card is it is a 1 mana Mystic, but as we saw, going over all those magic cards, there are way better 1 mana Mystics. So, next up, we've got the 2 mana 2/1 Olympian City Sniper. Roar, give -2 strength to an enemy creature until end of turn. This is like a very light counter to Pyramid Warden. It doesn't kill it, but it makes it so you can trade into it without losing your stuff, which is something. We're keeping the theme of these first 3 cards. We're like, this card's not horrible, but it's definitely not exciting enough to fit into any decks. But what about the next card, Benevolent Soul, a 3 mana 4/2 Aether. With Roar, give +1 strength to a friendly creature. Not the worst card ever, probably not good enough to see play, but what about Woods Hunter, a 4 mana 4/4 Amazon with Roar. Deal 1 damage to the weakest enemy creature. So, it's kind of like a way worse version of Feral Shapeshifter. Feral Shapeshifter sees a lot of play, that's because it has Hidden. This one doesn't have Hidden. When we were talking about nature, we talked about how 4 mana Amazons are good because the buff cards cost 5, but this 4 mana Amazon doesn't seem good enough to see play. It's not the worst card. It just, as far as the little, plinker creatures are concerned, it's not particularly exciting. But what about Dead Bodyguard, a 1 mana 1/1 Anubian, which we know is incredibly relevant from looking at all of the death cards. 1 mana Anubians are important for their new set, but what does this one do? After this creature is summoned, summon a 1/1 skeleton, keeping in mind that 1/1 skeletons are also Anubians. So, this is the first card out of all the neutral ones that I think might be worth seeing play, only if that Anubian archetype is worth it, just because this is putting 2 1 mana Anubians in your void, and there are a couple of cards that care about you having multiple 1 mana Anubians, so that's definitely something. Next up, we got Sneaky Bruiser. This Bruiser is sneaky. He is a 6 mana 8/4 guild creature, so you'll be pulling this off of the hollow every once in a while. 6 mana is expensive. 8 attack is big. Hidden is kind of hard to deal with. This seems like a card that a new player with a very small collection will make the top end of his deck and feel pretty good about it. Definitely not worth seeing play in a fully optimized deck, but this is not the worst card I've ever seen in my entire life. Unlike Cloudborn Aether Drake, which is a 9 mana 13/13 with Ward, it's a dragon. That might seem big, but as far as 9 mana cards are concerned, you can do way better than just 13/13. I feel like the main purpose of this card is it will be an excellent choice to pick off of Metamorphosis. But as far as running it in your deck, I doubt any deck will ever choose to play this. Maybe if it had Frontline, you would play it. You would never play it. I'd be happier if it had Frontline. But yeah, this is just a big creature that fills packs for the most part. Encumbered Looter. A 2 mana 1/1 guild creature, hidden for a turn, afterlife, draw a card. Yeah, not the worst card in the world, pretty unexciting. Imp Flatterer, look at this card art. This looks awesome. 4 mana 4/4 Mystic. Why is this a Mystic? How is this not a Nether? Oh, it's the little hooded guy in the back? That's who he's the Flatterer. He's flattering this little imp. Okay, but that's enough card art. Ability, give +2/+2 to a friendly creature. Ooh, interesting. Imagine you're playing aggro deception and you have your shadow Lethnons on the board and you play this and it lives. And then you can buff your shadow Lethnon every turn for +2/+2. This is a card that has big implications but is hard to pull off. Like, it costs 4 mana, it has no protection, doesn't have backline, doesn't have ward, doesn't have hidden, doesn't have nothing. But, like, it has an effect that you can do every single turn. It's like akin to Lysander's Spear, if, you know, it has to live. This probably doesn't see play, but, like, this is pretty cool. This is, this could turn on, like, new archetypes in the future, maybe, if they make a way for you to play without it dying. But next card is Lethal Prowler, a 5-mana 5/5 wild creature. Can attack. So far, I hate it. Once per turn, after a friendly creature attacks and the target survives, this creature also attacks that target. Okay, way more interesting. So it can't attack of its own volition, but it can attack multiple times a turn if you want. That's interesting. This is a weird one. I can't tell if this can, like, this is good, right? Nah. This is such a hard card to evaluate. I'm gonna need to hear other people's opinions on this. So, instead of racking my brain even longer, let's talk about this here lootable corpse. His stuff is ripe for the taking. Another 1-mana Anubian, which may or may not be relevant. Afterlife, randomly give +2 strength to a friendly creature. Could be okay. Actually, this could be pretty good. These, like, 1-mana Anubian decks seem to prioritize going wide, so you'll probably be able to, you know, hit a target with its Afterlife. But, like, having a mediocre body on a slow buff like this is that worth it? Only time will tell. How many 1-mana Anubians do you really need to pull off that deck is the bigger question. So, next up, Brink Watcher. This is a 2-mana 1/3 nothing tribe. At the end of your turn, give +1/+1 to this creature if a card left your void during the turn. Interesting. That's weird. That's way too niche of an ability to, like, be relevant. But this is a future card. This is a thing that you look out for in the future. Wait, if I remove, like, 30 cards at one time, do I get +30/+30? At the end of your turn, give +1/+1 if no. Alright, so if you did remove, like, an entire void, you wouldn't get, like, a big buff. This incentivizes you to remove, like, 1 card from the void every turn. If, like, old Necroceptor still existed, this would be a cool combo. Interesting card, unique effect, probably not good enough to see any play. But neat nonetheless. Next up, we have the Undertow Rover, which is a 3-mana 2/3 Atlantean, okay? At the end of your turn, give Protected to a random other Atlantean. That's kind of good, right? That's good, especially, like, on, like, a Shadewalker in Deception. Like, obviously Magic is the honorary god for this card, because they have all the Atlanteans, but this has got to be good. Protected's arguably the best keyword. And this gives things protected. Atlanteans like to buff things and give them Twin Strike with Boost Walker. And if, like, Protected could also be a part of it, then, like, you're going to be boosting and walking all day. This card's good. If Atlanteans ever see play, like, ever, then this card will be in that deck. This is good. I have no idea what the card art is, though. It's like a robot anglerfish or just a spear. Either way, this one's, I'm stoked on this one. This is my favorite neutral card so far. Front runner so far for sure. Next thing, Spawn of Colorin. Yep. A 4-mana 4/7 structure with Twin Strike. So this structure can attack, interesting. After this creature attacks, deal 2 damage to it. Cool. This is interesting. Because it's neutral, and War has that thing where they like it when you hurt your own creatures. Nature incentivizes you to heal your creatures, which incentivizes you to hurt your creatures. And this has a lot of stats. So, like, it seems like there are 2 budding archetypes that can turn, like, the downside of this card into an upside. And you know, anytime in a card game where you can turn like a but into an and, you're usually looking at something pretty powerful. So like this could be really good. If those like healing nature decks end up being a thing, which I'm not sold on, then like this could be really good. If the like self-damaging war is any good, then this could be big. This is a very interesting card. Could be good, could be trash. Only time will tell. On to the final epic card, and then we're on to the exciting legendaries. This is Distracted Conductionist. Conductionist? There's no way that's a word. 5 mana, 5/6 mystic creature. So far, so good. Can't attack. Ooh. Are you gonna trick me and you can't attack? At the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to the strongest creature, including your own. So it pseudo attacks. This is not worth it. If you can guarantee your opponent always has the strongest creature, then this card's amazing. But you can never guarantee that, so it's not amazing. It's just interesting. Okay, on to the legendaries. The first one is Moramag, Bane of Black Isle, which is an 8 mana 8/8 dragon with Roar. If you have 8 cards or more in your hand, deal 8 damage to each enemy character. Damn, that's kinda nuts. That's big. That's like, it's 8 mana, so it's hard to play, but that's just neutral AoE, like neutral super AoE. Is this card good? Well, it's gonna come back to like a lot of stuff. Like Deception is in this set is like super aggressive, so if you're playing against Deception, you're not seeing 8 mana. Nature's probably the same. Magic seems combo-y, but also faster than 8 mana. Like if the meta is in a place where you see 8 mana a lot, then this card's great. But you know, obviously, if the meta is too fast, then 8 mana is too much. But this card, this is a very thought-provoking card for sure. Next up is Surius, Arbiter of the Trial, a 5 mana 5/5 Aether. When you play a card with Echo, refresh 1 mana. That's cool. So this means that the bonus Echo creature is always free if this thing sticks. It's a 5 mana 5/5, so its stats aren't bad. Like, it's a decent creature. Could be like it could be good in light. For Magic, I would say no. Because it looks like with Magic, although you're playing a lot of Echo creatures, it looks like your plan is to save the Echo copies for like a combo at the end. But with Light, Light just wants to play a bunch of bad Echo creatures to get their really great Echo things onto the field. So if you can like play this as Light on turn 5 and it sticks, then you can probably go like pretty wild off of that. So this is interesting. This could be a good card too. Let's see. We've got Helmna, Spear of Life, a 7 mana 2/9. Ugh, that's gross. 7 mana card that gets Light Levy? No, thank you. It's got Frontline. After a friendly character is healed, this creature gains strength equal to the amount healed. Okay, not actually 2. Roar. Each friendly character is healed for 3. Okay. Alright, so this is neutral. However, it fits very well in those nature decks, potentially well in those war decks, although the war decks are probably too aggressive to see a 7 mana card. But this is really interesting, because it heals all your characters for 3, including your own god. It has Frontline. So, like, this can be very defensive. If your board's empty and you heal your god for 3, then this comes down as a 7 mana 5/9 with Frontline, which is, like, adequate? Adequate, I guess? This card might be good. There you go. Might be good. Take that to the bank. Next up, we've got Nibos, Probing Archaeologist. A 5 mana 4/5 Mystic. Roar. If you control an Atlantean, deal 3 damage to a random enemy creature. Repeat this for Structure and Nether. Ooh. Menagerie deck? That's cool. This card's neat. I like this guy. I don't think this makes you play a Menagerie deck, but like Like for like an Atlantean deck, like it's fine. This is a card you can think about for like any of those three tribes. This card's cool. I like this card a lot. All right, let's look at Volkaz, Master of Pain, a 4-mana 3/3 Nether. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to each creature, then heal each creature for 1. Okay, here we go. That's big. Honorary nature card, honorary war card. This is so good in those nature decks and the war decks. It's the end of your turn, so the effect automatically resolves at least once. It's not immediate like a roar effect, but like this is good. I was talking a lot of smack on the nature like healing stuff thing, and just the more cards I look at, the more it looks like it could be viable. Playing bad cards just to heal them still, my whole brain says that can't possibly be good. But like there's a lot of stuff going on now that's helping that archetype out a lot. This is a good one. I like this card a lot. Master of Pain, Master of Cool. But let's take a look at this 9-mana card. This is Remnus, Unscrupulous Gate Mage. A 9-mana 9/9 nothing. Roar, summon a random 9-mana creature for both players. What? For both? This card is horrible. So the idea is like you get a free 9/9, but your opponent gets a free 9-drop and however much mana they have to spend that turn. This is actively bad. Actively bad. The only way this card is ever good is if like the card, like the random 9-mana card that you get is like Anagrios. And like also like you kill your opponent by dealing like 12 or whatever. This is bad. This is a joke card. This card teaches you that giving your opponent resources is bad. This card is horrible. But what about Kaya? Kaya, the Conduit of the Gods, a 6-mana 5/3 no tribe. At the end of your turn, deal damage equal to your... Is this a spent? Sorry. The end of your turn, deal damage equal to your spent mana gems, split randomly amongst all enemy characters. Okay, that's really interesting. So at the turn you play it, you're dealing 0. You're dealing between 0 and 3. But if it sticks, which it doesn't, it has 3 health. This is a card that you think about a whole lot and you come up with a bunch of cool plans for, and then you test it and it doesn't work because it gets killed by Blight Bombs. Blight Bombs and like other 1 and 2 mana spells. Really cool idea. Way too easy to destroy. Doesn't have any sort of protection. Really cool card. Also probably a joke card. And speaking of joke cards, we got Candace of the Infinite Sands. This is another 9-mana card similar to Remus over here. It may have 9 attack, but don't get your hopes up because it's got an ability. Ability, unlock a mana lock, refresh 9 mana, draw a card, and your creatures gain God Blitz and Twin Strike. Whoa, this must be so good. It has like a whole novelist text. You get like 18 mana or whatever. This is the worst card ever. This costs your entire turn 16. It has no protection and always gets destroyed. This card is so horrible. He's got a really cool donut on top of his head that we can all be stoked on, but besides the card art, it is just bad. And now we are on to Madame Denbloom to you. I like that. This is a 3-mana guild creature, so Desert Mercenary fans everywhere rejoice. It is hidden. At the end of your opponent's turn, summon a 1/1 Rogue Skulker, which is important because it happens on your opponent's turn, which means the 1/1 Skulker that you generate you can attack with. It's hidden forever. This is... If Deception wasn't so good at refilling their hand, and if all their new cards weren't like some sort of like play 1 card, get more than 1 creature, then like this could be a card that sees play. Because like it's sort of like a horrible version of Cursed Obelisk where like you get infinite creatures technically, but it's just not good enough. And that's that. Next we have the Pools of Nemesis, a 4-mana 1/3 a Structure ability. Summon a copy of a creature. That's cool. Ability is slow. This card's probably always too slow to see play, but it has cool implications, especially for Magic, because Magic can make this thing cost 0 pretty easily. Not that making it cost 0 makes its effect any less slow. It's really cool. This is probably always bad. It's like a cheaper but slower version of Fertility Idol. And if you've never heard of Fertility Idol, it's because it's a bad card. So, that is enough of the Nemesis dude. Let's take a look at Dolvaz, Omen of Ill Will, a 3-mana 1/1 Nether. At the start of your turn, not good so far. At the start of your turn, double this creature's strength and health. Afterlife, pull this creature to your hand and set its health back to 1. Okay, so it never goes away. It's a light card. They're pretending it's a neutral card, but it's a light card that sometimes dabbles in war. Really weird. This card might be really good in light, because light already has 5 different variations of Shield Bearer, and then this new set incorporates 10 new variations of Shield Bearer. So buffing this is easy if you're light. Removing it is impossible because of its effect. Unless you obliterate it with that cool new death spell. Ooh. This is a card that's either really, really good or is a total joke. But now we are on to the last card of the entire Mortal Judgment set. We have done it. And this is the GG cat. This is where the GG emote came from, apparently. The mystery is solved. But what is it? This is Gariel, Bolster of Souls, a 3-mana 2/3 Aether with an ability. Double the strength and health of a friendly creature. Oh, okay. That's old, Doblasses. These guys are best friends. So, obviously you can play these two cards together as they want you to realize since they put them right next to each other. But is this card, what if light, right? Is this a card that you can just play in light and, when it lives, you just win? Double the strength and health of a friendly creature. You can do some real shenanigans with that. You can do shenanigans a lot of ways. Even, Baron, Whisperer Baron from, Deception. Or just, Shadow of Lethanons or, Switch Duelists that you buff a lot with, Dark Knives and Guildmates and whatnot. This is interesting. This is the type of card that's very easy to remove, but if you don't remove it, you might just lose. So that's really cool. This is a tight card. But that is the end, right? That is the end. We have now looked at sort of first impression reviewed every single card in the Mortal Judgment set. If you have not seen the other videos, there is a video for each and every domain, starting with Deception and ending here with the neutrals. I hope you had as good a time as I did. Remember to subscribe, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for hanging out, and have a wonderful day. Hey, you! Did you know that subscribing to the TST YouTube channel will increase your win rate by 6.9%? So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. And while you're at it, equip Scythe of the Harvest and attack the like button directly in the face. Bye-bye!